It's 10:38 on November 19th. I'm making this video for several reasons. Number one, if anybody's noticed, I took my video down off of YouTube, thinking that it was possibly an eBay scam. Let me tell you, this guy owns this business, Cold Parts Incorporated. The manager's name is Mark. Let me tell you, this guy, he's a real stand-up guy. Turns out, because I know that for those of you who saw the first video, I was going over some problems with it being DOA and eBay saying it didn't want to do accept returns and yada yada yada. Well, let me tell you, this guy Mark at Cold Parts Incorporated, he really bent over backwards to get me this replacement compressor. I mean, it was the amount, and it was a lot of really hubbub because of eBay, because they've done so many policy changes and whatnot over the past 6 months or so, and I can't fault the seller, I don't think, at all. eBay, the way they're becoming is making me not want to be an eBay customer anymore. But this guy Mark, he really went above and beyond. So definitely a top-notch seller. He's going to get a good review. Now I wanted to record this video because I'm going to take my own advice. Like last time, I said I should have checked it before I installed it. Well, it literally just came off the truck 30 seconds before I started this video. And you see all these labels that say this end up? Look, this end up. This end up. I mean, fragile. Well, it was upside down, first of all, despite the labels that say this end up. And the way that they brought it out of the truck and put it on the dolly, they just tumbled it end over end until they got it to the door. And I could hear the internals clanking in this compressor. So, I'm thinking that, if there is damage to this compressor and these windings, I would say it's probably because UPS is not following these stickers. So the seller is doing what he can to safeguard this thing, and he can't control what UPS does. So I want to go ahead and I'm gonna get my materials, I'm gonna get my meter, and I'm gonna open this live on camera and check the windings, because I don't want any more confusion about whose fault it might be if this thing is damaged. So let me grab my knife and my meter. Alright, I got it off the ground here so we could work with it a little better. Obviously you can see I have not opened this in any way. It's been banded, still got the UPS tape over top of it. So let's go ahead and open this up. I'm gonna do it live. So like I said, I don't want any more confusion over who or what is damaging these compressors. So like I said, they tumbled it end over end to get it off of the truck, and then it was upside down and they brought it up here upside down. So they're not following the stickers, the labels here. Okay. Now there's a ton. This guy, he does his best to package this. Let's go ahead and I'm gonna drag the trash can over here because it's a ton of paper. Now, I don't want it to seem like it's a long drawn out video. I'm trying my best to make it go somewhat quick, but I don't want any pauses. I don't want any nonsense. So just Bear with me. Bear with me. Okay. Okay. Come on. You really got it packed in there. I'll tell you what. I think we'll go ahead. I can get to the connectors right there. So we'll go ahead and test her out. You know, this is live. That way nobody could say, oh, well, you know, he opened the box and did something or whatever. Alright, so we're set to our scale. Okay. Let's go get an alligator clip so he can clip on one leg, and then I can touch it to the bare copper. That'll make it easier instead of trying to hold both of them and the camera. It's a little ridiculous. I'm nervous because it was upside down on the truck. They were banging it all around. I really want to get my air conditioner fixed. That's what I really want. I don't want to have to keep doing this garbage about trying to get a good compressor. Okay. Get this out of the way. Let's go ahead and we'll clip on the bottom there. Clip on the bottom winding. Okay. Alright, we're at 0. Let's hope we stay that way. Yes, look at that. Not changing at all. We'll test it out and make sure it's making good connection. Come on, get on there. Yeah, you can see. Oh, sorry for the crude camera work. Okay, so we are making connection. The meter is good, but we're touching to the copper here, and we're not getting nothing. Let's check all the windings. So, no ground to nothing. It's good. I know it's not going to be on this last one, but I'll check it anyway, just for consistency. Nothing. Sweet. Alright, so this is going to be the beginning of the rest of the video. So what I'm going to go over next, it's going to be a little bit, I'm going to take the compressor out of the air conditioner. We're going to install this one. I'm not going to put all that on camera, but what I am going to put on camera is I told y'all we were going to cut the other one open. So they did not want the old compressor back. This thing costs like $145 to ship. And like I said, you know, hats off to this guy Mark, because, you know, he didn't ask me to pay return shipping. You know, so basically he ate the shipping costs. So he really bent over backwards to help make this situation correct. So I've got to give major kudos, major thanks, because he could have just refunded my money and just said, you know what, don't worry about it, I'm done. But he didn't. So cool beans. All right, guys, as promised, cut this thing open, see what's going on here. And honestly, I can't tell you. I don't know. I'm not 100%. There's nothing popping out at me. The compressor is still grounded. Figured I'd share some interesting things with you. I do have my replacement compressor in there. Still got to hook it up electrically. But as you saw earlier in the video, we checked the windings. They were good. Pulling a vacuum on it now. My little vacuum pump is going to take a while, but you know what? I got patience. So, I mean, nothing really jumps out at me. Everything seemed in good shape. This clip here was not hooked in the top of this lid. This is what that does. Goes right here, and that's basically to protect the wire. So whenever I pulled the lid off, it was down like that. this goes over top of here, and then as you can see, so the black piece clips in there, and you know, it's what's supposed to hold the wire. So that wasn't assembled correctly from the factory. I don't know. As you guys, I told you, the from UPS, they did not pay attention to the stickers on the box that say, you know, this side up. And the way they got it off the truck was they actually end over ended it off the truck. So just bam, 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 bam. So maybe that kind of jarring could have popped his clip out. Not really sure. You can kind of see some silver marks in there in the case. And you can see the top of this pipe. It's kind of been flattened. I don't know if that's from banging around in there or what. But I did find that this was interesting. Look. There's all kinds of corrosion and junk in here. And, I mean, it's thick. It is thick stuff. So, to me, that's, you know, that's shoddy work. I don't know if these components would have been soldered. Maybe somebody didn't properly clean the flux off. I don't know. But that's from the factory, because, you know, this thing was shipped. I believe it had a vacuum in it, because when I pulled the plugs out of this one, it was a rush in of air. I thought they were nitrogen charged, but it had a vacuum on it. So, as you can see, besides the metal shaving dust from me cutting it open, these windings seem to be in great shape. So, I don't really, I can't tell you why. I don't know why this motor has failed internally. But you can see I got my meter. There's the plug coming off the windings. And no matter which one we stick it on, here I'll put on the meter. Stick it on this one. Get a reading, and reading. So the windings are definitely bad, but it's not a burnout. It's not a burnout. The oil in there is pretty clean looking to me. I don't know. Usually, you know, these wires, if this was a burnout, these would all be black and cooked looking and really stink. But there's none of that stink. I don't know. It's a new one on me, guys. But I just wanted to share that because I know the previous video I put out, I wasn't sure if this was some kind of scam. But now at this point, I'm 100% sure it is not a scam. That guy, the seller, eBay seller from Cold Parts Incorporated, that's a good company, because they went above and beyond to get me a replacement compressor. They actually had to fight eBay. eBay was the one who didn't want to honor the transaction. He was perfectly fine with it. So yeah, there's the end of the video, guys. We cut her open, and somehow this thing has just failed internally from the factory. It kind of seems to me that, what do you guys think? But if this corrosion has set in like that, wouldn't that mean like you know, not a complete vacuum? Maybe all the moisture wasn't removed when this was assembled and they vacuumed it down. I don't know. Open to what you guys think. Let me know. But that's it. Just wanted to make this video to clarify that indeed the Cold Parts on eBay, great seller. I definitely buy from them again. Just definitely, as soon as it gets off the truck, you should check the windings with your meter and make sure they're not grounded, And if they are, I would even record it, you opening it, and get a hold of, I believe his name was Mark, over there at Cold Parts. Let them know what's going on. And if you could have somebody there to actually watch UPS unload it, would probably be, even record that. Record that would even be a better. Because like I said, I didn't get a chance to pull out my phone, but they tumbled this box end over an end to get it off the truck. Then they loaded it upside down on the dolly, despite the, and I even pointed out the stickers. I'm like, man, what do you think those mean? I'm like, this is a compressor. You know, this is there's a reason why it's supposed to be like that. But yeah, guys, that's it. Let me know in the comments what you think has caused those windings to fail in that compressor, because I sure would like to know myself. Alright, quick follow-up ending to the video, guys. Couldn't leave it like that. Couldn't leave it with an I don't know. So, tore the compressor completely down. 100%. Well, 90%. And look at this. I believe this is the stator. And that's the armature. Or either way. This thing has some damage on it. Look at that. So when I pulled this apart and I saw that, I was like, oh man. Because this is what it looks like new. So then I was like, okay. And we get in here and you can see it right there. You can see pretty much right here. You see it all right there. So that's where it failed at, internally, inside the windings. For why, I don't know. I really don't know. Obviously this is some kind of defect in the manufacturing. To me personally, I can't really tell if the protective jacket on the windings was torn when it was inserted, or if it just got hot and burned. But you can see where the jacket is missing. See if I can do this here. Get this light over here so we can hold itself up. Okay, and get a little pointer device here. So you can see from the top, right there, about halfway down, the jacket, this white jacket, is gone. It's also gone here, kind of gone a little bit there, definitely messed up here. I don't know. So maybe whenever they pushed the copper windings in, or they were winding it, it got torn. I'm not sure. But basically, as soon as the power was turned on to this unit, even though there was no call, if you I think I said in the first video that I took down, I had another video up, and I showed in detail what was going on. I showed the codes on the circuit board. I showed the amp draw. There's only amp draw on one leg. So what was happening, it was pulling like, I want to say 20 or 40 something amps on just one leg, one side. And that's what it was doing. It was a dead short. So if the contact would have, if I would have turned it on for a call, call for cooling, and it would have pulled the contactor in, then it would have just boom right there. That would have been, because this was a dead short, but it was like still enough resistance that it wasn't a completely dead short, if that makes sense. But if that contactor would have ever pulled in, that would have just blew up, So that's that. We did find the cause of why we were getting a reading for grounded compressor, because the windings are burnt right there in the little spot. But also I figured I'd show you guys, I don't know if you ever seen a Bristol two-stage compressor. So the way this compressor is designed is it's a one cylinder if it's operating in first stage, and it's a two cylinder if it's operating in stage 2. Now I'm not 100%, I'm pretty sure that means one cylinder, it's a 2-ton second cylinder, then it's the full 4-ton, because this is a 4-ton unit. But I don't know if you've ever seen it, so watch. We're going to turn the shaft counterclockwise. See that? We only got one piston going. Now, we'll reverse direction of the motor, we'll go clockwise. And you can actually hear it. There's a counterweight and stuff in there that engages on the crank. So, yeah. Just figured I'd show that. That's pretty cool. I've never seen how a 2-stage compressor actually works. But yeah, that's it. So I just wanted to finish up the video with that. Now I'm at the point where I don't even think that this could have happened from UPS. Having a short internally in the middle of this, I mean, this is so solid you could drop this off a 20-story building and probably not hurt it. So that winding was doomed to failure when the thing was manufactured. It kind of really surprises me that they don't check when they're made. You know, how hard would it be to take an ohm meter and just pop it to 3 legs real quick? I know it's another step in the process, but maybe they only pull out like 1 out of every 100 or something and just do quality control that way. Obviously, they must not check every single one, or this unit would have never left the factory. But that's it. Just wanted to show how that works. Thought it was pretty cool. Figured I'd show you guys we did find the fault. You know what? I'll go ahead and pause it because I'm sure somebody's going to ask, well, how exactly does that disconnect from the crank? So let me pull this off. I'll show you. Alright, so here we go. I've got the front of the crankcase off. I'm going to go ahead and turn it clockwise now. This is turning in 2-piston mode or 2-cylinder mode here. And as you can see, you see this roll pin? This roll pin actually catches that connecting rod. See how that works? So that roll pin is what's connecting the connecting rod. So when it spins the other way, it actually alright, so disregard that. Had to lean it down because it actually matters. But if you notice how the crank is pretty much turning straight now. It's not really moving that piston. Okay, it moves a little bit, but also you got to remember this isn't lined up correctly. So basically, when this turns the other direction and that roll pin catches, then you see how it makes the rotation of the crank or the rod journal go from straight to now it's ovaled to move the connecting rod up and down. So it's kind of like, I don't know, displacement on demand according to engine rotation, I guess. But alright fellas, that's it.